Good afternoon. This is Dr. Blumfield from Los Angeles speaking. It's a beautiful day out today. To God be the glory always, and your health is your wealth. I always say that. Your health is the wealth. After God be the glory. God is the healer. We're not the healer. As doctors, we're just teachers. 50 years ago, when I was working at the Motion Picture Hospital as a clinical pharmacist, I took a flu shot, and I got the worst flu ever. So in 50 years I have not taken another flu shot. For those that consider taking flu shots, read the disclaimer and talk about all the things that negatively can happen to you. I personally know someone that took a flu shot years ago and can't walk now because of that shot. So you got to be careful what you put in your system. Okay, I'm just letting you know. Same with those that are considering taking a booster shot for the new COVID coming. You really have to be careful what you put in your system, and you have to read a disclaimer if they give you a disclaimer, because they want you to take the shot, and Pfizer wants to make billions of dollars for you taking the next booster. So I switched professions in the 70s from a clinical pharmacist to become a chiropractor and doing nutrition, because the people I was seeing at the Motion Picture Hospital, most of them weren't getting well. They were on 8 or 10 different medications, and they were either dying and going to heaven or to hell. Wherever they're going, very few were coming out and going back to health. So I got into a natural healing profession, and I've seen a lot of people in my time, and tried to impart good nutrition to them. God has the healing capacity. We don't. God is the healer. We're not the healer. Whatever we produce, it's got to be with God's blessing. And as I said in the past, when you're dealing with drugs, you get drugged. When you're dealing with medicine, it deals with a symptom, not a cause. It keeps you at that level. It keeps you just semi-healthy, but not quite healthy. And it keeps you going to the doctor. It keeps you these prescriptions. And he's earning a living on that. Drug companies are making billions of dollars. Corporations' bottom line is to make money for their shareholders. That's bottom line, no matter whether a product is good or not. McDonald's makes millions and billions of dollars, but their product is what they call CRAPPY, crappy. If you keep eating that stuff, you surely possibly have a problem years later. I see families, especially Hispanic families, going into McDonald's and spending $30 or $40 for breakfast and eating this food that's dead, basically dead food. So I have to say, dead food for dead people, live food for live live food for live people. I do go to McDonald's and have their senior coffee because I like the coffee. That's all I have. And I watch these people that are overweight keep eating this fast food, fried food laden with sugar in it, high fructose corn syrup, and not getting healthy. And then in their 20s and 30s having a diabetic problem, having pre-cancer in the system, and prone to heart disease. Heart disease is basically the #1 killer in America. We eat fast food, we eat fried food. The problem today is the fast food industry, non-healthy food, food that's adulterated, processed food. Most of the food is processed food. And then people get on these psychiatric medicines there, and who knows what the side effects are. And then who knows why they go wacko and they commit these other crimes and stuff like that. So things are going to get worse before they get better, but we have to do something about it. God has the cure for every disease in the world. You just have to find a way of reaching that, asking God for the cure. Asking God to find someone that can help you find the cure. There's a program that called Disease in Reverse. And in 60 days, you can reverse disease by taking certain herbs. In 60 days. But you have to go on a plant-based diet. You have to change your eating habits. You have to go on a program that's a detox program. Chances are most people have parasites in the system. You got to get rid of the parasites and the bad bacteria. You got to add good bacteria in the system there. So this is a program to reverse major diseases. Isn't that something? In 2 months, and it's relatively inexpensive. So there are things that you can do naturally, cheaply, to bring back health for those that have ill health. Now back to the COVID vaccine for a second. They don't tell you, but many of the people in the hospital have had all these COVID vaccines, and they put them on respirators. And once they put them on the respirator, it's hard for them to get off, and then they pass away. So morticians are making a small fortune on people dying, and people are dying because of the way they think, because they think they're going to get well, and they don't get well when they do the medical approach to long-term problems. So you got to step out of your area, and you have to think differently about health. And then you step back in slightly. I talked about a formula that the other doctor takes, and I'm going to start taking, which relates to turmeric and ginger, garlic and red onion, cayenne and lemon. You can add beets to it. You can cook that, a little bit each, for about to boiling. Let it simmer for about 5 or 10 minutes, let it cool, and then drink the water. You do about 12 ounces. That has healing properties. That really has healing of the system. You want to put an ounce of honey in there, put an ounce of pure honey in there. Not the junk that you get from the store, not the regular maple syrup or honey. So these are things you can do. You can get well if you change the way that you think about health. The Lord opens His door to you for health. He wants us to be healthy for 60. If God gives us score, He wants the heart to beat strong for all that time. He wants to be successful in the health field. He wants to be successful in all avenues of life. And the last thing is, we have to thank the Lord and have an attitude of gratitude. We have to have an attitude of gratitude where we are in life and what we have in life and what we can do. And guess what? We have to help those less fortunate than others. We have to have a sense of purpose and help those that can't help themselves. So I'm going to sign off. My email again, for those that don't have it, that will send me an email, and I'll get back to them. CMB3103@AOL.com. May you be blessed and stay healthy. Amen.